for a couple of VIP guests to show up. I just want to let you know that there's some extra breakfast that has been served. If you are still hungry, there's some meaty items that have been added on, some sandwiches, some mini burgers, so enjoy. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, let me not act like I haven't had anything to eat. Let me have some more high energy. Good morning. Ladies, queens, and goddesses. Normally it's ladies and gentlemen, but this is an exclusive room where we're just beautiful women with a common goal. We love ourselves and we love money. Do we love money? We love making it. We love making it. Anyone who said money does not buy happiness does not know where. Yeah. I want to thank FX Pesa for hosting us today. The theme of this event is Women and Financial Literacy, Challenges, Progress, and Tips. It sounds a bit serious, but generally we're here to have a conversation. We're here to have fun. We're here to learn something new. We're here to interact. We're here to mingle. I don't like being on stage by myself, so I will walk around in intervals and ask a few questions here and there. Before that, some housekeeping. If you'd like to use the bathroom, this door goes straight on towards the left. If you're a smoker and you'd like to enjoy a smoke, you'd have to probably go downstairs because that door is open and the smoke will probably come in. There is still breakfast available if you're hungry. Let's eat. You'll understand some facts better on a full stomach. Today, I want you guys to take as many photos as possible. Please tag me if you can. I will repost it. Use the hashtag switch to FX Pesa. I know a lot of traders here who already partners with FX Pesa, so that's not new to you. Make sure you use the hashtag switch to FX Pesa on Twitter or on Instagram, wherever it is that you're doing so. If you want to learn how to trade, I suggest you text global to 40184. You will get some nice prompts there where you'll be asked if an FX Pesa representative should contact you if you want to actually create a trading account, whether it's live or a demo account, or if you want to join our workshop, okay? All right, so walking around in intervals. This beautiful lady in orange, I want to ask you, what are your expectations for this event today?
Thank you, Ivy. I really just want to learn about trading. I have a young brother who's 19 in second year of university. I see him on the screen, like our TV. Just sparked my interest. I don't know so much about it, so I'm really just here to learn, and maybe I'll pick it up, maybe I'll pass it on to him. I don't know. My name is Rachel. I'm in IT. I'm an engineer by profession. Thank you.
Who else wants to tell me the expectation for this event? Anybody who's brave enough? If you're an introvert today, you'll probably really not like me. I love it. All right. Your name, what you do, and your expectation for this event today.
Hi, Ivy. Hi, ladies and goddesses and empresses, queens. That's been your promotion. I'm Shanice. I work in tech. I'm in data utilization. So my job there is to build partnerships and communities, and I'm loving what I'm seeing right here with the FX Pesa.
Network and get from experienced traders and share experience and probably trade together. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. What's your name?
Irene.
Irene, I love it. So I will force you to interact with other traders right now and other people. I know some of you came here together. I need to separate you. Pick up your handbags, because we're going to do an exercise right now. I need you guys to pick up your handbags. I need teams of 3. So wake up from wherever you are, move around. I need teams of 3, okay? I don't know how many ladies we are here today. Can someone tell me from the registration how many we are? So that we can see whether we have equal numbers of teams. But I need you to pick up your handbags. Don't worry, you go back to where you are seated. This is just a nice exercise. I need you guys to mingle, find someone new. Let's go. We can't just sit at the same tables, guys. You said you're here to meet people. You can't be in a room full of queens and then you go back without a contact. How are you? Make sure you get very beautiful pictures. Yeah, guys, move around, introduce yourselves, and then we'll start the game. Meet someone new, ask them what they do. We always say if you want to meet someone new, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to get out of your comfort zone. Be stable, you guys. Meet someone new, carry your handbag because the exercise requires you to have your handbag. And when you've met that someone, stick to them. I need teams. I need teams. I need teams. So the ladies on this side, to my right, you're team A. Stick to this side of the room. Please still mingle, but stick to this side of the room. You are team A. The ladies in the middle of the room, you are team B. And the ladies to my left, you're team C. Oh man, I love the energy. I love the energy. If you have business cards, this is the time to whip them out. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, do we have our teams? Maybe I give you 2 more minutes to finish making friends. You're looking for someone. There are people. You have found your people. All right. Okay, ladies, are we ready for the game? Because in the interest of time, we have to play the game quickly. So everyone has their handbags. I had said this is going to be team A. The ladies in the middle are team B. Ladies, ladies, ladies. Queens, maybe you prefer queens. Oh, now you're listening to me. Queens. So you are team A. All of you, I hope you've mingled because the game involves all of you. This is team B. From there, you will. Team B, and then from that table over there towards my right, all this way, you guys are team C. Now, in your handbags, I want to know who has the following items within the teams. I know we're very competitive here. Traders, all you do is compete every day. We're very highly competitive. I'm highly competitive. Monica, you seem very competitive. Right. In your handbag, 8 items. Whoever has the most of these items wins. Collins, you need to get something for the winners. I'm sorry to put you in this position. You need to get something for the winners. I'm looking for a team that has the most combs in their handbag. Who has a receipt in their handbag? Dare I ask who has a checkbook in their handbag? Who has their checkbook in their handbag? Guys, this team, you guys are not even mingling, you're just looking at me. Amma, you didn't bring handbags. Who has some chewing gum in their handbags? Who has some chewing gum? Makeup. We know personal branding is all about also how you look. Don't raise your hand, my my darling Rose. I want to see that makeup, and I want to see if other team members have it. Makeup. Smelling good is part of looking good. Who has some spray or some perfume in the handbag? Yeah? Who has some mouthwash? Who has some mouthwash? Ladies, huh? And finally, a picture of a family member. Whichever, I know, guys. Rose, you're killing me. The team with the most of these items. So, team A, comb. Whoa, receipt. You guys okay? You know you are what you receipt, huh? You are what you receipt. Any receipt for your hair. I'm not about receipts on WhatsApp. I'm not about receipts on the DM. Very good. I like this team. Okay, only 2 receipts. Okay. Checkbook. Oh, it's not for Gen Zs. It's a bit older. Do you guys even know how a checkbook looks like? Do you guys know that? Okay, fine. Chewing gum. Team A, chewing gum. Team A. Hey. Team A, it's okay, don't worry. The next game is... No one has... Okay, 1 piece of chewing gum. Makeup. Anyone has some makeup? Okay. Oh, a whole bag. Guys, Team A is killing it. Okay, but you're not raising them, so I can't see. Oshi. Okay. Who had mouthwash? Ladies, I suggest you go buy some nice pocket mouthwash. Myself included, because I only have gum, I don't have the mouthwash. But there's nice pocket mouthwash. Sometimes you take a picture of a family member. Okay. Honestly, I don't even know who's going to win. I'm like, okay, this is going to be so interesting. Yeah, you guys? We'll discuss the winners later. Guys, if you've not finished mingling, I suggest you go back to yours. If you finish mingling, go back to your seats while I discuss with Collins who the winner is. It might have been Team A, but they have more members, so that's a bit unfair. You Rose don't win there, there's nothing. Finish mingling, head back to our seats so that we can start. Wow. Wow. Remember, if you had a good time, share it on social media. Switch to FX Pesa, that's the hashtag. If you're not sure about using your data, I know saving money is important. We have Wi-Fi available to us. It's the least we could provide for you. The password is on your table. Look for Autograph as the Wi-Fi. The password is 101021. Okay. All right. Are we ready to start this beautiful, beautiful session? Are we ready? You're so smart in your beautiful pink suit, by the way. I have to comment. You look absolutely lovely. All right. My first speaker today, our first speaker, I will allow her to introduce herself because she's called Monica. I can't pronounce her second name, but Monica reminds me of my daughter because she comes from the place my daughter was named after, Tallinn. So I really love that. Monica, Chief Revenue Officer of FX Pesa. Please come through. Guys, let's clap for Monica.
Hi everyone. Now is this one working? Hello. Where do I press? Oops. Hello? Let's hold on press. Hi guys. Oh, awesome. It's working now. Thank you, Ivy, for the introduction, and thank you all the beautiful women here for joining us today. It's awesome to see everyone. We are having this event today because we had International Women's Day, right? Absolutely love how International Women's Day has changed into March being an International Women's Month, right? I mean, let's be honest, one day is not enough to celebrate how amazing we are. I'm going to be really brief because we have an amazing panel waiting for us where we're able to answer all your questions and go more into investing and trading. I would like to speak briefly about money. So often, money is source of shame and stress. Do you agree, guys? It should not be. Money should be source of empowerment, freedom, and security. In my position, a lot of people ask me, Monica, what's your personal goal? My personal goal is freedom, freedom of time. Only way to achieve it is to financial independence. Let's be clear, guys. Money is unlimited. Time is not. Yeah. People who are financially literate, they stop living day to day and month to month. They're able to strategically think long term. Isn't that the best feeling ever? Never needing to worry about your financial future? Of course it is. That solves 80 out of your 99 problems, guaranteed. And let's be clear, financial literacy is the foundation of financial independence. Your goal is not to be financially literate. Your goal is to have financial independence, okay? Well, I've been living in Kenya for some time now, and I have witnessed firsthand how many people still have short-sighted vision about their finances. And a clear example of it was when COVID pandemic hit Kenya. I believe it was now 2 years ago. The day the curfew was announced by the government, you just saw buses filling up with people and emigrating back up country. I was really curious, why, right? It was clear, people were not equipped to oversee or outsee few months or even few weeks of slow businesses. They weren't prepared, they didn't have safety nets, and that's not a good place to be at, guys. But on a good side, pandemic has completely changed our relationship with money. Not only in Kenya, worldwide. Millions and millions of people are looking at their safety nets, their financial safety nets. People are revisiting their monthly expenses, and people are finally starting to take personal one. Think of it from this perspective. If you started it today with $500, that's all you have. You start investing with $500, and you add to that investment every month $100. You will enter your retirement with $300,000 in your bank account. That's 30 million Kenyan shillings. That would make you the 10% richest retirees in Kenya. That's it. $500 to start off with, $100 investments every single month. Okay? That is the beauty of compounded investment, compounded interest. That is the 8th world wonder. Most powerful thing out there in your finances. Okay? There is, I just recently read an article about 80% of Kenyans enter their retirement with less than 1 million shillings. That shouldn't be the case with anyone who's in this room today. Okay? We also have here today a lot of people from FX Space, our amazing females, so I would like to speak a little bit more about why a lot of FX Space's success is due to women. Can we have an applause for all the FX Space women here? Awesome. First I need to emphasize one of our core values in FX Space. It's always to adhere to 50-50 male-female split. Let's be honest, women make everything a little bit better, right? In the past few years that I've been living in Kenya, I have seen increasing number of women joining financial services, financial industries, banks, etc. I'm sure as an industry we have not yet reached the 50-50 split, but I'm sure that FX Besa is leading the way. women's perspectives and intuitions have proven to add value to different industries and companies. We have natural leadership attributes. We lead with empathy and we have higher emotional intelligence, that's for sure. However, what I have also witnessed as working as a female in financial services is how many women start underplaying their feminine qualities, right? They just want to be perceived more as a male equivalent, which in my view is absolute nonsense, right? Our strength, our value comes from our feminine qualities. Now let's speak briefly about women in online trading. So guys, how many here have traded online? Can be anything, FX, CFDs, it can be stocks, anything. Awesome. Let me tell you a few good facts. Right now, today, in FX space, so 25% of our active clients are female. That's 1/4, right? That's amazing. When we started our operations here 4 years ago, that percentage was only 9. In 4 years, we have done some great progress in terms of including women in online trading. Finally, it's no longer a men's thing. It's actually everyone's thing, right? Let me tell you another good fact. Women traders are net more profitable than men are. I'm not saying that every woman who enters the trading is better than the male equivalent, but as net, women tend to be more profitable in trading than men are. I'm not going to go through reasons of why. I'm sure that we're going to discuss that at our panel discussion as well. I always like to tell a lot of male traders, they're not here today so I can say it, you got to think like a woman to be successful in trading. All right, so guys, I'm not gonna waste a lot of more time because, as I said, we have a great panel starting. What I do want to mention as well, that you all have QR codes on your tables. Something that I'm personally very passionate about. I want to lead a community of empowering women in online trading, financial literacy, investing in general. So we want to do similar kinds of events at least quarterly basis this year and going forward. And we want to really gather everyone in our WhatsApp groups as well, so we can always share with you, able to improve our knowledge together as a community. All right, thank you everyone. That's it for now.
That is so beautiful. Thanks, Monica. Let's give another round of applause because there are quite a number of tweetable moments there. She's proven something that I always like to think about, and that is the fact that retirement is not an age, it's a choice. She said we need to start thinking about our retirement now as women. She also said, own your femininity. It's what makes you. Being a woman. Who knows? Who said that? Have you guys ever heard of Malala? Pakistani activist, youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. So I'll repeat. There are two powers in the world. One is the sword, the other is the pen. There is a third power stronger than both, and that is the woman. So I want us to take that as we get out of here today, right? Are you guys ready for the panel session? Yeah, you're ready to learn something more? I will introduce our panelists, and when I introduce you, I would like you to step on stage. Let me start off with someone I really fangirled over today. Bida Mwema is here. One of our panelists. Bida is an investment banker turned business journalist with 15 years of experience covering African capital markets, having worked in the African and global financial hubs. Her areas of expertise are capital markets, investment advisory, corporate strategy, financial modeling, among others. Can we clap for Be There? You have such a wealth of experience and you look like a Gen Z. Please have a seat and be the Karibu Sana. Welcome to the stage, Rose Ngari. Ay, Rose. Power in such a beautiful little form. Rose, trained lawyer with more than 10 years experience in the investment management space. She's worked with various companies in different roles, honing her skills in financial planning, investment advisory, portfolio management, business development, marketing, communications. My God, if you guys do not talk to these women after this, you will have wasted opportunity. Rose, welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Mimi Sigilai, a trader who's been trading for 4 years. And I love that she says that she's here to break barriers, and she's doing it in heels. Mimi loves teaching trading. She loves learning. She loves teaching trading. Mimi, welcome. Last but not least, Monica, please come back to the stage. You cannot have dropped such gems here, and we do not have you back on stage. Welcome back, Monica, Chief Revenue Officer at Equity Group with over 12 years experience in trading. She loves money. She loves empowering women, as you've seen. Please make sure you join her WhatsApp group, because the amount of value that you're going to get out of this is going to be absolutely beautiful. Her strengths are in managing diverse teams. So if you're here to learn about women in leadership, she's the right person to speak to. All right. Without further ado, what are the microphones for the panelists? This is one. Yeah. Okay, would I fall off the stage? We might have to move this table. Collins, thank you. At least we have a gentleman here to help move stuff around. Let's do the thinking. Just do that for us. Thank you. All right. Let me head one straight to the questions. Remember, share this widely. Hashtag FXPesa, tag FXPesa, tag all of us if you care to. And after this panel session, we're going to have a nice Q&A session where each and every one of you is going to be able to ask your own questions to the panelists, okay? I'd like to ask the panelists, every time you're answering, please speak into the mic so it can be picked up for our YouTube page. And have fun, let's debate, let's learn. I don't even have a finance background, so I'm so honored to be here. I mean, I can't believe it, so thank you also for having me. I think before anything, the theme of the event is, I don't know if we've actually defined what financial literacy is. Rose, you have the microphone, so maybe I can start with you. What is financial literacy? What do you think that is, and how can we help women to understand what that means?
You hold both.
Okay.
Testing. Can you hear me?
No, actually. Long press the...
So, financial literacy is understanding yourself, understanding your income, understanding your expenditures, so that you can build wealth that is more of not for this lifetime, but for another lifetime. It's more like building generational wealth, but it starts from understanding yourself. That is why it is called personal financial planning.
That's beautiful. So that's Rose's definition of financial literacy. Maybe you can pass the microphone over to Moima. Moima, what is your definition of financial literacy?
So since we're celebrating women, Moima is my father. I am Bife.
Bife.
Yes, so, but we can say hello to my father. Nonetheless, don't worry about it. But before I answer that, I'm just so excited. You know, I'm looking at this room and I'm like, if my grandmother was alive and she was here, like all these women are trading, how happy would she be?
Right.
Because for them, they used to sit in groups, and the empowerment and the opportunities to make money was so limited. So she used to sell what we call in Kamba, siondo, and they'd come together. And I'm like, my goodness, if she was here just seeing all of you, so I honor all of you. I honor the FX Pesa team. I honor you. Just so excited to see women here, all the hands going up on trading. I'm over the moon. But when it comes to financial literacy, I'll just add on to what Rose has said. It's literally just understanding, where's my money coming from? Where is it going? Am I able to fund my operations? If not, then I need debt. Is that a good decision? If I'm not depending on debt, do I have surplus from my income? And the most important thing, where am I putting my money? Most people put their money in assets that don't earn a return. So we are all here, we're buying land, we're buying nice clothes, all these things. You're not earning money from them. You will retire. Your life in retirement is longer than your life in sherehe, #sherehes. So you need to be planning for that. So financial literacy is that. And then the final point is, it's very interesting when it comes to women and men. So I was in a forum yesterday and we were just understanding and appreciating how women think about it. So if you ask yourself or even your peers, do you invest? Like, no, I haven't thought about that. If you're married, no, my husband is the one who thinks about that. If you're single, I'm waiting. I'll get there. So you're like, women always imagine that someone else will take care of their investment perspectives. So I'm happy to be in a space where people are trading. And the question should be, is this trading enhancing my value add and my personal wealth? Thank you so much.
Oh, beautifully spoken there by Mbida. Thank you so much. Mbida, Rose, if you could pass the microphone over to my darling Mimi. I don't know what your thoughts are on the current state of financial literacy for women. So at least we've gotten the definition now, so we're starting slowly. What is your thoughts on the current state? Mbide has really told us a very beautiful story about how her grandmother may not have had the opportunity to be in such a forum with such women. What do you think is the current state of financial literacy for women, and why do you think it is the way it is?
For sure, it's not where it was before. That's why we have beautiful spaces like this right now. And for sure, it's not where it's supposed to be yet. But so far, with a lot of information, the internet, exchanging, and options, right now, financial literacy, actually, I would return it back to the person themselves. It's you who has to take the initiative yourself, to want to actually learn, to want to actually understand yourself, to want to actually understand the relationship you have with your money and the investments that you want to make. Because I feel like right now the options are there, the spaces are not as much, but the options are there. If you really want to, you'll find the opportunities to get the financial literacy, or personal financial planning. Still, there is a lot of information that people don't have, and even if they do, they might have the wrong information. So there's still space, so there's still room for growth once it comes to financial literacy. Yes.
Beautiful. I'd love Monica to add on to that before I ask Monica a very pertinent question right now about financial literacy. So Monica, what do you think is the current state? You're very well traveled. You have access to beautiful data from FXPesa, because FXPesa actually, if you guys are not aware, they invest a lot in research and data so they can provide value to their customers. Monica, what do you think the state is? What can you add on to what our darling Mimi said?
I think something that Mimi mentioned is absolutely correct. It's not as bad as it used to be. It's better, but it's still bad. Especially when it comes to, we see a bigger gap in female financial literacy levels in Africa, also in Kenya, in comparison to the Western world. So there are several reasons behind it. First and foremost, let's be clear, financial literacy is nothing to do with your formal education. You get formal education, that does not equal to financial literacy. Okay, that's not the same thing. Financial literacy comes from somewhere else. Financial literacy comes from your formal employment. Financial literacy comes when you're exposed to the certain type of world. That's the financial world, the bigger world out there. And in Kenya, a lot of women are still excluded from that. Okay, our formal employment is not in females. Our formal employment is not as high as in Western countries, for example. Right? We stay home with kids for longer times. This is where our exposure to the financial world kind of decreases. I think this is one misconception that I come across most often in Kenya, where women believe that they just need to go to school, they need to go to the higher educations, and they are able to acquire a good financial literacy knowledge through that. That it doesn't happen this way. And let's be honest, when women go to higher educations, like universities, women quite often opt for more social sciences like media, arts, teaching, nursing, etc. Right? So I was really happy to hear that we have engineers and IT technicians here. I mean, that's amazing, because these are usually the subjects that males go to. And once again, these are the areas that expose you more to the financial world. So by default, we as a women, we are excluded from these perceptions, from this knowledge in the world.
Do you think one of the reasons we're excluded from this is probably because For example, if you go to a classroom and ask a woman, what do you want to be when you grow up? Probably the most likely thing they would say is probably a nurse, because they're exposed to seeing nurses. Whereas the likelihood of a man saying, I want to be the president, because they've grown up seeing that presidents are men. Do you think that would be one of the
Absolutely, absolutely. What I was mentioning earlier as well, when I first came to Kenya 4 or 5 years ago, and we were meeting with different banks and boards, guys, there were no women. There were very, very, very few women in these board meetings. But I can tell you this side has changed today. I can see more women. We need to look up to those women. We need to empower these women. We need to show that women can be in the financial space, right? It's exactly 100% what you said. It's how we see things. We want to be what we see, right? Absolutely.
I love it. It's a bit ironic. You've led me to our next question of the panel. I want to drop a few facts here from a World Bank report. Women make up 15% of the continent's self-employed population. We are more than half. So businesses owned, oh my goodness, my back is turned to you guys, hi. So more than half of the businesses owned in Africa are owned by women. However, oops, I pressed something here, hold on. However, this report says that most of these businesses, 34%, most of these businesses earn 34% less profit than the male-owned businesses. Monica, what do you think is the impact of financial literacy on entrepreneurship, especially for women, and why do you think these numbers are as alarming as they are?
Absolutely. A good fact to add there, Africa is the only continent where there are more female entrepreneurs than men.
Beautiful.
It's amazing, right?
We need to clap for ourselves.
Yeah.
How many entrepreneurs do we have in the room? Any entrepreneurs in the room? Yeah?
Everyone who has a side hustle,
Yeah, that is
you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah, Monica, tell us.
Awesome. So what I feel is that a lot of women enter entrepreneurship short-sightedly. They see entrepreneurship as something to cover their immediate expenses. Therefore, if they do lack the financial literacy, they don't have the view of longevity and the success, right? This is what we're still lacking. And this is, if you put it together, the lack of female financial literacy and how entrepreneurial they are, I mean, this goes without saying that we should invest more time, more money in educating our women in financial literacy, right? And keep in mind, it's not only, it's in the benefit of the whole country. It's a whole nation. If we help women to succeed more in their small businesses, that helps the nation. That helps the whole economy of the nation, right? Yeah. So it's absolutely essential for us to teach women. Perhaps we can, that would be my suggestion, to actually start speaking about financial literacy in already high school level, at least to have some kind of a platform, some kind of introduction to the financial world. Especially as a lot of women enter, especially in upcountry regions, in their entrepreneurship when they're in early 20s, right? So yes, that's about it.
Yeah, I love it. I'll always pass the mic to one to see if she can add on to that same question. We're talking to a lady who's been an entrepreneur for over 15 years, leading a very successful business. If you Google her, CEO, champion. So, Mama, what do you think women in business should understand in able to pivot and scale their businesses today?
So I came across this interesting but rather controversial quote. It reads, if wealth was the inevitable result, let me start again. If wealth was the inevitable result of hard work and enterprise, every woman in Africa would be a millionaire.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's not. Your hard work is not equivalent to wealth. And when you talk about the statistics that you're bringing up, as women, either because of how we are created or because of how we are cultured and how we are brought up in Africa, you're spending so much energy and effort on that thing that gives you 2 shilling profit a day, right? So I'll wake up, I'll go get my things. And if you find most of us are like, oh my gosh, I'm selling dresses, I'm selling makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you're spending so much energy, the same energy that people of the opposite sex are spending, but you're not focused on margin. So financial literacy, you can learn about budgeting, you can learn about all the investments. I can guarantee you, if I have 10,000 shillings, it doesn't matter how literate I am financially. It's hard to split that 10% charge, 10% savings. How do you split 10,000 shillings? You're living in Nairobi. If I have 1,000,000 shillings, it's a very different conversation. So even before we start appreciating all these concepts and all these trading platforms, our mindset has to come back. Do I want to be this African woman who works so hard, but I'm not wealthy? Or can I actually engage my mind mentally and ask, what's the best way I can spend my 8, 10, 16 hours in a day? What business, whether enterprise or work, is going to enable me to enhance my income generation? Because without that income generation, we can sit here for donkey years and still have that conversation of my back is broken, I can't afford to go to hospital, I'm 80, but I have worked all my years. So I think that's the nugget of wisdom. Are you going to be that African woman who works all the time and you're not wealthy? Or are you actually going to challenge yourself, not only to be literate, but to understand where are the money-making opportunities? How does that money come to my table? How do I open up that table for other people? And then after that, how do I invest to build generational wealth for the other person?
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. I was honored to interview the CEO of Equity Brokerage, and there's something he said that stuck in my mind, and he reminded me of exactly what he said. And he said, you cannot earn your way to financial freedom. How many of us follow sports stars that were millionaires, musicians, actors and actresses that were millionaires? I'm talking about dollar millionaires, but then suddenly you see they became broke because they focused on earning, and that's what Moema is saying. They did not focus on investing their money. And what Monica said, investing their time wisely. So I want to repeat, you cannot earn your way to financial freedom. Oh my gosh, the gems, they're so heavy. I love it. My dear Rose, my dear Rose, my dear Rose, my dear Rose, I have a question for you. Okay, so Moema and Monica have spoken very well about financial literacy and the mindsets that we have to consider. According to you, in your experience as an investment lawyer, and in your experience in the financial industry, because we said today's theme is about tips as well. What tips can you give women in this room and other women in terms of improving their financial literacy? Practical tips that they can walk out of this room and actually go and apply.
That is a very interesting, but let me add on to what Bide had said, and also add on to what Monica had said. It's all about the confidence. We see that the men are making moves even in in their careers and everything, and even in entrepreneurship, if you go to LinkedIn and see a business that is run by a man, they are CEO of what and what and what and what, but when you sit down with the person, I'm sorry for the men in the room, it's a shell, their mind is just a shell, because of the way, but when you sit down with them and ask them what they do, they will sell everything. But ni hewa, it's air, They're not going to be able to deliver what they have sold. Does it make sense? So they have a lot of confidence in what they are selling, and yet we women, we have the content, we have the knowledge, but we don't have as much confidence as they have. So what do? Build our confidence to that level. I want to be at that point where I am able to walk into board meeting and everybody will listen to you, not because you're a woman, but because you have content. Because men are listened to just because they're men. Let us challenge our minds to have that confidence.
How do I build that confidence? So I know there's a few ladies here who are just over the age of 25 and they're listening to you and saying, I want to enter that boardroom. How do I build this confidence?
By networking, mostly by networking, and also talking to yourself every day and believing in yourself. Already you have a good product. If you're an entrepreneur and you're selling something, you have built a product or you are selling a product that you believe in. Why can't you be able to sell it to someone else? It is as simple as that. If you have believed in it from the start, if it's a service industry, you're an events planner, you know exactly what you're going to do. Why can't you be able to go and talk to someone else? The same way you talk with your girlfriends and tell them this is what I do is the same way you should be able to talk to everybody else in the mass. And here I'm challenging my business partner. Hi, Carol Musau. Yes. So we should be able to step into that space, own yourself, and own your product, such that you have built so much confidence around it. Yes, and you can be able to sell to someone else.
I love it. I'm also always asked about confidence, and one thing that I always tell people is over-prepare. Sometimes the key to avoiding feeling like an imposter, because I know a lot of us suffer from imposter syndrome as women. We feel like we don't belong, is over-preparation.
Yes.
If you're going for a meeting, over-prepare. Read up on what the meeting is about, what it is that you're supposed to present, practice in front of the mirror. So over-preparation is also very key. So back to our question in terms of tips on financial literacy for women in this room. Rose, what do you have to say?
Just a few tips. The first thing, and I actually mentioned it earlier, is understanding ourselves. Understand your income. Understand first yourself as a person. What kind of risks can I take? What kind of a personality am I when it comes to money? Yeah, am I an overspender? Am I miser? Yeah, just understand yourself, and it comes from you internally. Yeah. Then understand where your money is coming from. So write it down. It's not just putting it in your head, yeah? Write it down. This is where my income is coming from. I'm getting commissions from this place. I'm getting salary from this place and all that. The other thing is understand how you're spending your money. That is your expenditures. How many loans do you have? How many debts do you have? How many pairs of shoes do you need to buy in a month? How many dresses do you need to buy? How much food are you consuming? Yeah. How much takeout are you taking? How much do you hang out with people? Write it down. Yeah. So you have understood your personality. You've understood your income. You've understood your expenditures. Then create a budget according to your goals. So you also now need to actually have a goal. Someone said you can have a plan, yeah, but if you don't have a goal, it just becomes, it's an empty roadmap, yeah? So you need to have a goal. Where do I want to be in the next 5 years, in the next 3 years, and all that? In the next 6 months, where do I want to be? Do I want to have started my master's or something of the sort? And all that. So write it down as well. Now, from your income, your expenditures, and your budget, and your goals, you're able to see how you're going to allocate your money, any expenditure, any extra money that you have now into getting into your goal. And the other thing that you should do is, as you're maintaining a budget, always make sure on a monthly basis you're tracking your expenditures on a daily basis. Why? We are women. We will go into town and buy shoes. Yeah. We will go and see, oh my God, I have an event and I need to make my hair. Yeah. I've seen a dress. I don't need it. You have 10,000 clothes in your wardrobe. You don't need that dress, but you have seen it and you need it. The first question I usually ask myself is, can I be able to put the same amount of money that I'm spending on this particular thing in a savings account? Yeah. If it's worth 10,000 shillings, can I be able to save 10,000 shillings? If not, I walk away from it. I probably don't need it. I just want it. And then the other thing that actually sells us out is the, the offers. Buy one, get one free, reduced Jumia offers and all that, yeah? They throw you off balance completely in your expenditures, yeah? If something is not in your budget, and you really, really want it, yeah, and you're seeing that you're going to be using it in the next 3 months or in the next 1 month, yeah, because you might buy it and you're not going to use it. That means that you don't need it, yeah. But if you're going to be using it in the future, probably you need to upgrade your kitchen appliances or something of the sort, yeah. That is something that you're going to use, and there's this offer that is there. Try and put it in your budget and try and see how you can be able to allocate money from your other expenditures to that, but don't go spending money blindly. And that is how you have your power. You get your power over your money. Money is not supposed to control us. We are supposed to be, it's actually a servant for us to deploy it to various goals and plans that we have so that we can get financial freedom.
Very well put. That's beautiful. Money is a servant. It's there to serve you. You're not supposed to be a slave to your money. Just because it's on sale, ladies, doesn't mean you have to buy it. and I think I'm talking to myself. Rose has really yelled at us today. Just because it's in sale doesn't mean you have to buy it. And the other thing that's alarming nowadays is the number of mobile phone applications where you can get a quick loan. You know, when you said track your expenditure, you guys tracking even like the interest rates you're acquiring from most of these platforms. If you find yourself in debt and you're not able to pay your electricity bills, you know, you get ready for dark times. Did you guys get that? Okay, well, I'll try another one. I want to go to Mimi. Mimi, we have a number of traders in the room and trading enthusiasts and people who came to learn about trade. As someone who's been trading for around 5 years, I want you to share some of your experiences with us as a female trader.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm extremely, extremely happy to see. I had to turn back when she asked how many people are trading. I was just very impressed, extremely impressed, because the time I started trading, actually, I resulted into trading. Trading was not my first option. I come from a background of accounting and financial management, specifically investment banking. When I grow up, I want to be there in a couple of years. Yes, so I worked for an investment bank, and traditionally, investment banks here in Kenya, they only do shares and bonds. Like, that's it. Like, if you walk in, I will tell you all the shares you need to buy. I will guide on how you should change from here to here, no longer buy ever-ready batteries because we no longer use batteries. Let's go to Safaricom. But when you're doing the calculation, you're like, okay, this person has come in with 1,000 bob and wants to buy these shares and sell them probably at the end of the month. And they're probably going to make a difference of maybe 3% of that. And you're like, okay, is it really worth it? So it comes back to still working so hard for almost nothing. So that's where I resulted into feeling like maybe I understood myself, and I was like, I think I'm more risk loving, and my risk appetite, or rather my appetite for money then, was very high. I was a new mom. I was just confused. I was all over the place. I was doing my CFAs. I've just given birth. I'm in a horrible relationship. Like, my mind was not there. So when it comes to money as well, you have to have your mind in the right place. So with my risk appetite, Equity was just opening in Kenya. In fact, they didn't have a website, was like coming soon. And I was like, one way or another, because I know how to trade from school, or rather I understand how Forex works from school. Once they land here, I will physically walk to their office, open an account physically. And remember, this is online trading. And I physically went to their office. I met Monica in high heels. I was like, I know what's going on. I know how to buy and make a profit in between. I just want that leverage. I want that extra money that comes with the leverage. So of course it went into me going back into my books, understanding, okay, really not books, understanding that first of all, you're in a very high risk market now. You're no longer waiting for 2%, 3%. So remember, you're also going to lose that high amount that you are looking for. So that was very key when I was getting into this. What else? My appetite, that. And then, of course, the support from and stories from people who'd already traded before. So when I see this, I'm very happy, because I come here to tell you blowing an account is very normal. For you who has blown your account, it's very normal, but let's not normalize it, because it's not fun losing money. Please, let's not normalize it. It's very hard also making money in any other business, your Instagram shops, your whichever avenue you're taking. So take your trading very seriously. I trade full time. If I blow my account, I don't have money. So if you are doing it part time, maybe you would be like, okay, fine, I can lose some money here and there. But for us who take it full time, my mind knows this is my everything. So when I go into the market, I have to have risk management in order. Your lot sizes, you cannot be having $100 and putting lot size 0.5. You get me? Yeah, so your risk appetite has to be in order. Your goal, you have to have you have to understand, why am I actually trading this account? Am I trading it to buy high heels? Still fine, you could have a trading account to do that, so that you can easily risk. But when you are trading to actually make ends meet, make other investments, pay your bills, buy a car, you have to think very long term. You have to give it a lot of time, a lot of thought, and also understanding, why am I entering into this position? Why am I buying gold at this price? Why am I selling at this point? Understanding the fundamentals and the technicalities behind it. Yeah.
Beautifully put. Thank you so much, Mimi. I want to go to Monica, still on trading. So I think Mimi has actually broken down our experience really well, as well as some other challenges. I want Monica to address people who have seen an advert around trading and they're considering it. I know one of the many questions that people ask is it safe? As Mimi has said, it's normal to blow your money. So what are the other misconceptions around it? And of course, finally, what are the challenges female traders specifically face in the industry?
That's a really good question, Ivy. Is it safe? Absolutely safe. We're a regulated business. We have the same regulations as banks, investment banks, etc. It's safe, absolutely safe. We cannot protect you from your bad trading decisions. Okay, that's something we can't do. What I want to add, a lot of people enter into online trading with a thought, I think somebody mentioned earlier as well, that I can become rich really fast. It doesn't work this way, guys. It doesn't work. You can perceive it as a gambling. You can perceive it this way, but you know what the risks are there as well, right? You need to be prepared for it. I mean, I work in the markets. I love the thrill of the markets. I always have a gambling account where I just play around with. That's part of it. I love the thrill of it. However, what I always tell our clients as well, you have to perceive financial trading. I mean, all financial trading is online now, right? You have to perceive financial trading, either it's leveraged or not leveraged, as career like any other, okay? Let's say if you study journalism or you study finance or ICT, whatever it might be, you go to university. You study your 3-4 years, okay? These are hard years. You never have money for anything. You have your side hustle. You finish your university, you do internship, right? This internship is the time when you move from a demo account to live account. You work really hard and you don't get anything in rewards, right? Online trading is exactly the same journey. It takes time. I was speaking with Mimi earlier, because Mimi, I think, is actually one of our first female clients when we opened our offices in Kenya. And when I started trading myself, it took me 4 or 5 years to actually start generating profits. That's the reality. But I'm there for the long term. I know that the markets are going to be there when I'm 50, when I'm 60. That's my security net. My security net is not a man, it's not somebody else, it's my knowledge. It's my skill, and that's the best security net anyone can have. When it comes to some of the hurdles that other women in the trading space are experiencing, I think a lot of women, it's the confidence that we were speaking about. I think women are still not confident about entering financial markets. We're getting better, definitely, because as I mentioned as well, the number of our female traders has increased drastically in the last 4 years. We're definitely getting better. But that's the confidence that we need to get. Yes, you know, we don't need to rely on our partners to take care of our finances. We can take care of them ourselves. We can generate the wealth. I believe that's the confidence. That's the main hurdle we have to overcome.
No, I love it. Again, we always say money is not a financial plan. So now that you've said that, you are your own security net. Back to misconceptions around trading, Monica. So Ivy has 2 children, and I'm trying to save up for their school fees. Should I put all that money
No,
in trading?
never.
Why?
Okay, let me take a step back. Finances, investing is something very personal. I have very different goals than you have, right? Whatever works for me most likely won't work for you. We have to find a financial plan, an investment plan that works for our individual needs, okay? Let me speak about my personal goals a little bit. I definitely do not want to retire when I'm 65. I want to retire when I'm 45. I'm not going to live just to pay for my medical bills when I'm 65. I want to actually enjoy my life, right? That means that when I'm at my younger ages, I mean, if you're below 35 years old and you're investing in bonds, I would reconsider that. Below 35, these are the years that you have the capability to trade or invest in more riskier assets. Yes, part of it can be definitely online trading. You can't put everything into online trading. You can speak about blue chips. You can speak about green energy. You can speak about, I mean, I've been obsessed about marijuana funds this year because it's really working well, guys. There is so many different, there is so much to invest in, guys. There is so much to invest in. You just need to open your mind to the possibilities out there. And I would definitely, you can't put everything into online trading, into one asset class. That doesn't work out very well probably for you. But always some parts of my investments, they also go in online trading. I mean, especially this year, whoever is, Mimi, I know you're trading, a lot of other people are trading in the room here. There have been amazing opportunities in the market, which I have not seen in my 12 years of trading. They were not there in 2008 market crash. There have been some crazy good opportunities to make money. And this is what it's all about. It's about having access to get to those opportunities, right? And so bottom line is here, diversify. There is so many different things to invest in. Don't be only obsessed about our local markets and NSC and all of that. There is a lot out there, guys.
Beautifully said. We can pass back the microphone to Moema because, again, I love how this conversation is flowing. Monica has led up to my other question. So she said, open up your eyes to other markets. We know this is an election year. Everyone knows that, right? Yes. You guys know the date for voting? August? 9th. It's 9th?
9.
Wow. Okay. We need to figure that out. But anyway, it's an election year, and I mean, that does something to the markets. What should we consider as women during this year? What opportunities should we consider in terms of investment? Should we stay local? Should we stay global? And if we go global, what advice would you give us?
Okay. Before I answer that, may I beg your indulgence just on the previous question? If I have children, should I be investing in FX or high risk? Ooh. So I'll take a step back and just ask for like a minute or two, and perhaps if you have a paper, you could try and do this exercise. This is how I start with it in terms of understanding my goals. So what are my assets? What do I have? What do I owe others, right? So perhaps you have a car. You write the value of the car. Maybe you have land in a chama. You put the value there. Maybe you have shares in a SACCO. Put the value there. Maybe you have, everyone has an insurance policy. Who doesn't have? Those ones for education. You don't have? Okay, sawa. There are a few people. If you have that policy, you put it there. It's a tedious exercise, but it helps you understand, what do I currently have? What is giving me a return? You'll find for most people, when you write that list, the house that you live in, if you have bought it, does not earn you a return. The land that you bought with your friends and it was a good investment option does not earn you a return. The education policy that you have, you owe people money till you finish paying for it. It's not earning you a return. Then what you tend to find, at least in the literacy work that we do, majority of us don't actually have investments that generate money. So you do that first part. Second thing you do, how much do I owe? Mobile loans. What's the cost of that? What's the value that I owe? Family members. If I've taken a personal loan, or if I have a mortgage or a car loan, you do how much am I paying for that? Then you deduct what I owe others from the assets that I have to give you your personal net worth. It's so important because then that number tells me, am I happy with it? Yes. What can I do better? Am I not happy with it? What can I address? When you start there, then the next question you ask yourself, where's my money coming from? What Rose was saying, where is my money going? If I have 100,000, am I able to put aside 10,000 shillings? But you see, you've already looked at the assets that I have. So now the next question is to ask, if my priority is to invest, what investment is going to help me improve my personal net worth in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 5 years? If I have a family and maybe my current goal is I want to have school fees, so I want to be generating income on a regular basis and I want to know it, then you look at some investment options such as money markets. But now the thing is, you have to understand low risk and high risk. Because what I would say, if you put money in a money market in Kenya, for example, you get between 8 and 9%. If you get 9% from that, that's about 90,000. You're like, my capital is okay. That 90,000, now you begin to explore other spaces, whether it's FX Pesa, whether it's alternative investments, because if I lose it, I'm still okay because I have my capital. But you see, this is somebody who's saying, I have a family. I could be 28, I'm in tech, I know people earn like maybe $60 per hour or $120 per hour. My goodness, if you're going to go YOLO, you might as well also go YOLO on your investments. So for that person, you say, you have energy, you have rigor, you don't have dependence. Take these classes that FX is offering you, and learn and put your money, because literacy is not just about knowing, it's more important to be able to act. And when we talk about literacy, my goodness, as women, see, we like Moshene. My Instagram stories. Edgar Obare has how many followers? I mean, even me, I go to Instagram just for the reels, because I'm like, I don't want anything serious. But if you think about it, the amount of time that you spend there is the amount of time that you should purpose to take an FX Pesa course. No one has made it compulsory for you to act on that knowledge, but take it. Go buy a book. Join a session for any of these people who are here and get to learn, so that what you're saying, the amount of time I use on, we love to talk. How about those conversations become, okay, Sawa, so what's your net worth this year? What's your target? What are your investment decisions? What are you doing in terms of engaging with FX Pesa? Or let's go and do the training. Now that we've understood, Mimi, how can we actually meet our goals? What can we be able to do? And then now coming back to your question, which I clearly don't remember.
Don't even worry. Just even doubling back to what you said, that beautiful exercise that you asked us to do, is that because you're famed for speaking about asking women to check on their financial health status. Is that what that was?
Exactly. That's literally what it is. But what I wanted to do is to answer this question, and I like what Monica said, that it's a personal decision. So that's just a framework that helps you understand, as Mbithe, what are my assets? What do I have? When you do it, half the people say, I'm okay, the other people say, I'm not. But just understanding what you have, and it gets you into the habit of asking yourself, my goodness, that policy, how much do I pay? Where am I at? So you start looking for your financial records, right? Liabilities, you just know you pay the bank, but how much are you going to be paying them and for how long? And then taking these loans that we take on our mobile phones, I mean, we can either be celebrating, but I say if you're going to be taking them, you better be an owner of either a Safaricom or a tech company. If you have an Apple phone, go and buy the stock because you can clearly afford it. But I like taking that back step that says, wait, before I get overwhelmed by these numerous investment opportunities, what makes sense to me as Mbithe? And I think in closing, what I'll say is, for me, because I've been doing that exercise from 2019, I was like, my 5-year plan, I'm on the year 3. I was like, oh my gosh, this needs to change drastically. Because I was just going pole to addressing some things, but I'm like, now I need 20% growth on my personal net worth, right? And I was like, how do I achieve this? I need to increase my income generation. Because I do consulting work, I do entrepreneurship. It's a hard space, man. Hauko. As in, it takes some time to build that up. So I had to actually ask myself, what I tell others, go build on your income. What are going to be my alternative income sources? Because I put a number and I said, these are the number of hundreds of thousands that I want to invest every month. My target return is 12%. So in that space, then I come and look at the options. There's FX Pesa, there's Bitcoin, there's stocks locally, there's stocks in the foreign world, there's treasury bills, infrastructure bills, but I've put my hurdle rate 12%. So I'm very clear, what am I doing? And when you look at it like that, it means every month, anytime there's financial news, I am there. Interpreting, if I don't understand, asking somebody. But I'm minding my own business because I'm very clear on what my goals are in 5 years, what I want to do now, and I've actually curated a framework that helps me understand my next steps.
Wonderful, wonderful. I want to remind everyone about the WhatsApp group that you can join. Mbithe will be there. Monica will be there. All the ladies on the panel are going to be there. So if you have any further questions, please scan the QR code on your tables. Join that WhatsApp group. Do not be left out of the knowledge sharing platform that's going to be. In the interest of time, again, I want to go back to the final question. Maybe you can pass it to Rose because, although it was a question for all the panelists, again, Rose, I just need you to comment on elections and as women, what it is that we can do to prepare ourselves, what investments we should be looking at, should we be looking local, should we be looking global, what strategies can we employ?
Okay. I'm going to answer it very generally, yeah? In terms of uncertainty, the one thing that we understand when you're in the financial markets is liquidity is king. Yeah. So however much you want to invest in different asset classes, understand that you need near liquid investments. So yes, elections is coming up. We don't know what might happen. We are hoping for the best. But if 2020, 2021 taught us anything, is how to have money in cash. So apart from having an emergency fund, that is 6 to 12 living expenses, your current worth of living expenses, we need to also have some near liquid assets that we can liquidate, yeah, as you're going to uncertain times. So you might want to invest in land, as Bide has said, because that's the one thing that we have been taught, yeah. If I may say it in my dialect, we always say, "Kateri ne kega," you know. Soil is good. Soil means real estate, yeah? So buy a plot of land somewhere and keep it. That is what we have been taught over and over, yeah? But now you might be having, and we have seen it in the last few years, you have so much land, you have so many title deeds, that is the assets that you have, but you don't have any money with you. And how long does it take for you to sell an asset, such as land, for you to liquidate it, yeah? 3 to 6 months in the Kenyan current system, yeah? So we need to have liquidity. And with liquidity, we are looking at if it affects, how soon, if I'm trading, how soon can I be able to liquidate my investment so that I can cater for my bills? If it's a money market fund, and it's all about diversification of your investments. Don't put everything in one asset class. You're going global, fine, go global. If you're using Facebook, as Bide said, you might as well own their shares so that at least you're able to generate income from the adverts that they do, yeah? If you're using YouTube, you might as well own their shares, yeah? So if you're going global, yes, go global, but look at your net worth. And for me, I usually say at least 3 to 10% of your income or your net worth is what you can be able to allocate to a risky investment, yeah? So that you're able to adjust, you have a risk-adjusted return, yeah? So that not everything goes if it goes. Right now, yes, we might say global. We might say we are going global. Mm-hmm. However, what happens because we are in Russia, Ukraine, and everything that is going on, yeah? So we are not just being affected by the elections, yeah? We are also being affected by the geopolitical, yeah, outside there. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you have liquidity. You have a certain amount that is liquid that you can, yeah, liquidify. Anytime.
Monica shifted in her seat while you were speaking at some point, so I don't know if she. I'm like, there's a shifting, yeah, there's shifting. So I don't know, maybe Monica, if you have something to add, please let us know about what Rose has said about, liquidity, buying plots of land right now.
Yeah. Okay, I totally agree with her, but I can tweak some things. First of all, when you ask such a question, for me, I think I live in my own world because such kind of things don't affect. I feel like would not directly affect my money because I am a global child. I am a global, my mind is global already. So if I'm in the digital space, whether Kenya is electing or not, while trading, we call that fundamental. It must happen regardless. So whatever goes. The prices must change and whatever's going on must continue. That's why we technically insist on the numbers. So we say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And when it comes to, with regards to elections, of course, I can't disregard that. So whatever they've said is correct. But for people like us who are on the charts, it doesn't affect much, yeah. And that liquidity and that anything would affect. I would take a sell and make money as it's selling. I'll take a buy and make money upwards. So it's really, even the fighting in Ukraine and everything is making the market so enjoyable because there's volatility and we're only making money because of the volatility.
We're supposed to embrace volatility. So basically you're telling people if you've not considered trading, maybe this is the time to actually consider it. For sure, yeah. For sure. If there's a lot of opportunities like she's talked about, and we normally say all the things happening in the world must happen. Life must go on, but price has to change. And those things, pushing price to change, puts more money in your pocket if you're in the right direction. Nice. Monica, anything?
There was just 2 things I would like to add to Rose. So I'm the foreigner here, right? So I come with a different perspective. Yeah. What is the thing with land in Kenya? Is it made of gold? Guys from the FX Besta, you guys know what is my opinion about gold, right? Sorry, not gold, land. So once again, unless you have a solid plan on what you're doing with the land, e.i. growing avocados, doing something with the land, it makes sense, okay? You should not invest in assets if you are less than, I mean, I would never buy land as an investment if I'm not 55 and above. That's a security, right? I mean, if you're not wealthy, why are you securing your poverty, right? It just doesn't make sense to me, guys. But understand as well that land has a very cultural meaning. It has a different meaning in Kenyans' eyes, which makes sense, right? But at the same time, don't get me wrong, there's not all land investments that don't make sense. If you have a plan with the land, you want to use it for agriculture purposes, it's a brilliant investment idea, right? But as was said as well, it needs to generate for you an income, okay? It's no point when you are in your, let's say, sub 40s, 45s for you just to acquire assets, right? You want to generate also an income. You want to generate wealth for you. In terms of the elections, I mean, we have been speaking a lot about the elections, right? I love what Mimi mentioned. Guys, millionaires are made during turmoils. Millionaires are made during recessions. The most boring year in my career was 2018, 2017. Nothing happened, guys. I was waiting for pandemic. I was waiting for something. I just wanted markets to move, right? When COVID started, we had the highest number of new clients joining the market. We had the highest volumes traded. We had the highest number of new Kenyan shillings millionaire made in our platforms. Guys, we need liquidity. I mean, we're on the verge of World War III. Let's see what happens. I know for a fact I can make a lot of money out of it. So can everyone else, right? You have to see the opportunity. Election year, see the opportunity. Where can you make money out of it? Trust me, there are places. Can you short sell something? I probably wouldn't be buying right now. See if you can short something. There is a lot of opportunities to make out there. Don't be afraid. When the markets are volatile, when there is some geopolitical uncertainties happening, that's our opportunity. That's our opportunity.
Wow. Yes, the last thing, then we can move to question and answer session from the audience, because I'm sure a lot of us have questions.
Okay. So I was just going to reiterate the element of trade the volatility, and I really like what Mimi and Monica have said with regards to currency. So I think there's an opportunity for you to be trading currency, but don't just trade it without knowing. Get the knowledge and then apply it. And then for us, if you're looking at the Kenyan context, there's also opportunity perhaps to buy stocks when they go low. So what happens is now, as we're getting to the second quarter of the year, we are seeing foreigners exiting the market. But I like what everyone is saying here. So if you're buying a stock, has the fundamental operating system or the space that they're in, has it changed? It hasn't necessarily changed. So yes, put your cash. If you have a long-term horizon, look at stocks, and even global stocks. We've seen choppiness in the markets because of what is happening between Ukraine and Russia. But as the stocks are coming off, then you can be able to buy them. So I think there's an opportunity in stocks. Alternative assets, Bitcoin, it depends on where you're at, but we've also seen, upward and downward momentum, and currency. Those are things that you'd want to look out for.
Beautiful. And again, trading is very, very high risk if you don't know what you're doing.
Yes.
So again, text global to 40184. Get into a workshop, learn how to trade if you are really, really keen. Do not go into this blindly because Monica said millionaires are made in turmoil. Let's go trade, please. Please educate yourself. FXpressa gives you free education on the same. Let's clap for our panelists because that was absolutely brilliant. I want to welcome the floor to questions. Do I have an usher? Today my usher is Collins. I like this table is turning. Yeah. One of the only men, in fact all the men here just here to work for us. Hello gentlemen. Guys, questions for the panelists. I think this is a very opportune moment.
Thank you so much. Beautiful gems. I mean, I'm always there telling people today, this is just amazing. Be there, amazing gems. I think you and I have a date. I have your number already. Yeah, but just an observation and then a question. I like where Monica is started with your keynote about if we invest, say, $500 now and continue with $100 every month, we retire with, was it $3 million? I was wondering, first of all, what's the timeline to that? I'm 32 going on 33, so 30 years. Okay, it's good to know how much time that's actually going to go. So that's clear, thank you. The other question I had was, I hear what you're saying about volatility and more money in your pocket, Mimi. But I wanted to know, we're going to electioneering, and regardless of what's happening globally, we will definitely get a hit. I'm in IT. I want to make all my sales by June, because June to November I'll just be checking out to see who's buying, who's not buying. But my point is, you're here encouraging us to think about forex trading. We might be able to, as the Bible says, you jump when the water is down. We might be able to just get in on time. But you also allege the fact that it took you about 4 years to begin to see profit. So can we get a bit of clarity around how ripe is this opportunity? Bear in mind, there's very few women who actually have disposable income. So they'd be digging into probably some assets they dispose of to be able to get this money to go in. How safe is it? What's your fair assessment on the return on investment? Should they invest, say, around, so this is March, so say we get classes and in 2 months we're like, you know what, I want to put in 100,000 shillings and say start trading. I know there's no guarantees, but you're a financial, a chief modeling officer, I heard your title, yeah? If you were to model the return on investment, how would you rate my 100,000 investment, especially with where we are as a country, whether I invest locally by buying, as Bida said, because stocks will probably take a dip, or if I decide to look outward, in the financial markets globally. Yeah.
Okay. So first and foremost, I can't give you the return on investment. We are just a platform, right? We are here to provide you with an access. The return on the investment depends on you. So I have worked with, we work with, I'm not speaking about Kenya now, let's say more in Middle East, in rest of the Europe, etc. We work with big hedge funds who diversify their AUM into our products, right? We can see them generating 30-40% in US dollar returns per annum. We can see individual clients. I can see individual clients generating 100% return in a month. So it really depends on you, and it depends on your decisions, your trading decisions, right? So the ROI, it's very personal to everyone. I'm more than happy of generating, let's say, 2 to 3% a month. That's my target. So once again, it's something very, very personal. I think that was the main. Sorry, Collins, you're blocking my view. There was some other parts to your questions. There were so many questions. Sorry, I got lost.
I think I was just trying to see if you could model just top of your head, if someone were to take 100,000 from a shilling, that's on the higher side. I appreciate that's on the higher side. If you get 100,000 and say, I want to start with you, say in June, knowing that we're going to elections in August and that could prolong if you get to a runoff, yeah? It took 4 to 5 years for you to see some good returns. So would I be looking at short-term gain, or would that 100K probably come in 2-3 years? Because I want to believe everyone starts small, right? Like you just don't go in and say, here's 5 million, please go ahead. So how would you, for women especially, because this is a women's event, for women who would probably have to really look for that 100K to put it in an electioneering year, would that be a safe investment?
Just to help Monica, first of all, just the basics. If this is your pool of money, 70%, according to me, what I would do, 70% goes to risk-free or almost 100% guaranteed return. There's never a guarantee with money, but examples of that would be your T-bills and your bonds, 70% of your money. Then about 20% goes to middle term, or middle-term risk. So things like real estate, they don't really give you a return, maybe 14, 15 years later, and you don't also go on a very horrible loss. Then 10% is what you bring to this alternative risk, high appetite environments. So when you are coming here, please come here with like 10% of your portfolio to this department of or you say, I want to be making 10% return. You can do that in a month, 3 months, 6 months, and yeah. I would say you curate the returns that you want out of the market.
Thank you.
I actually have a question for Mimi and Monica because, especially for Mimi, you're a full-time trader. That's the thing. Is it a misconception that if I have a side hustle, I have 3 jobs? So I'm here, I'm a digital content creator, I'm an entrepreneur running a business, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Would I really be able to hack trading if I don't invest my time in it fully?
Just like you said, I'm personally those people who over-prepare to become confident. So I would want you to overspend enough of time in the market understanding how it works so that even if you place a position and let it run maybe 2 months, 3 months, you're okay with that decision because of the over-preparation that builds the confidence to enter that position. For sure, you just curate it based on your lifestyle because she talked about all this is based on your personality type or your lifestyle around that. So you curate what you want out of the market. Yeah. But for sure, you would be able, with everything going on, you should be able to still trade. Every single person should have trading as like their side hustle. Yeah.
It's a really good point. When I started in the FX industry, when I started trading, there were 3-4 brokers in the world, right? There weren't all those that you see these days. It doesn't exist. I didn't have a mentor. There was no website that I could enter and gives me any information. There were no YouTube videos. There were no financial influencers. There was nothing out there back in the day, right? So I had to go through the longer journey. But at the same time, I also had a full-time job. So it did take me a longer time. I mean, if you're able to spend hours in a day to learn, because it's a new skill, guys. It requires learning. Don't forget, it's a career like any other. It's a completely new career. It takes a little bit longer time for sure. I mean, I was spending maybe 3-4 hours a week. That's all that I could afford from the time-wise. And yeah, it was my personal journey. It took me some time, but finally I did get there. And I know it's going to be there when I'm 50. It's going to be there when it's 60. It's always going to be there. Markets never go away.
Hi. First of all, Mimi, thank you. So I used to be an investment banker a million years ago, but I never understood trading. So I used to be like such a stupid person. I was like, oh my God, I've left everything that I learned behind. But the fact that you differentiated and that you had to learn trading aside from investment banking, thank you. You've given me some more confidence. So my question is, what can I trade on FX Pesa? Is it just stocks and shares? Can I trade gold? Cryptocurrency? Can I trade in offshore shares? For a Muslim like myself, where interest, in as much as you said compound interest is the economy of the world, are there options like gold trading that I can focus on that do not necessarily have that implication for the afterlife for me?
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, we have a variety of instruments. I think in total there's about 1,200 different instruments that you can trade on. Includes currencies, metals, indices, shares, everything you can imagine is there except cryptocurrencies. With the Central Bank of Kenya regulations, we currently are not available. We are not able to offer cryptocurrencies, but that's hopefully will change at some point in the future. Let's see. In terms of the Islamic finance, so obviously we are able to also cater for Islamic trading account types, which means that we will not accrue any interest on your accounts as well. So it is Sharia compliant, and we are able to offer that. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Hi everyone. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for this platform. I've been trading for, let me say, 3 months. I started training 3 months ago, and I was working for an individual. And I like what one of the panelists said, that women have more, are more successful traders than men are, because I've seen this man blow his account like 4 times. And sorry, I really don't want to. Sorry to the man in the house, but yes, but yeah. So my question is this, and also providing for us a safe platform, because I've honestly been looking for mentors, let me put it like that, in the trading world, and thank you for this platform where we can, interact with fellow traders. So my question is this, yeah? Does FX Pesa provide stock option trading, stock options trading? And then you mentioned trading, diversification in trading, like marijuana and these other stocks. So which platform do you use to trade international stocks? Which specific platform, or does FX Pesa provide this? And then my final question is: are you taking mentees? Are you can you take mentees, someone, and then you're going to just show them your journey and how we can get there to be profitable? Thank you.
Awesome questions, love it. Everyone in this panel has a very personal story. We all are a little bit different. I'm sure that we are all very successful in our personal financial space, but we all have different approaches, right? I'm starting with your last question. You can't have somebody to tell you exactly what to do, right? I mean, Mimi was discussing here that she will place, I think, 70% into low risk. I'm a risk taker. That's my plan. Until I'm 45 years old, I'm gonna risk it all because I want to retire early. I want to be very rich when I retire, right? So I'm gonna go 70% in high risk until I'm 45 years old, right? So when it comes to the mentees, the best advice for you is learn, okay? Definitely, it's very good to have a mentor. I mean, I personally never had a mentor. I got my mentor in a very later stage. Just learn about financial space as much as you can. And that's the reason why we're having this community, right? You can all be each other's mentors and mentees, right? When it comes to trading and what we have available as well, so all the products what we currently offer under FX Pesa are contracts for differences. So just to clarify, what is a contract for difference? So if you're trading Apple shares as a contract for difference, you do not actually get an ownership of an Apple share. However, you participate or you speculate of the price movement of the underlying Apple share, right? If you think of a concept, right, in my personal opinion, ownership does not mean anything these days anymore. I mean, if you look at the companies like Netflix, Airbnbs, etc., they are generating billions of revenue without owning anything, right? Ownership is not the key these days. It's access that is the key of making money. However, we are very actively working with different market counterparties also to offer more multi-asset products. So we already spoke about cryptos. We spoke about the actual share ownership as well. So it's work in progress. It's definitely something we are driving towards. And that's something in our pipeline. Sorry, there was a second question as well, which I think I missed. Oh, yeah. Oh, the platform for, okay. I can't disclose that. There is so much out there. Once again, as Kenyans, you have some tax implications that you need to be aware of as well. So once again, these are your personal. There is a lot out there. What is just important for me? I mean, we were speaking with Ivy earlier that I'm from Estonia, I'm from Tallinn. I have never invested anything into Estonia because it doesn't make sense to me. But it feels that a lot of Kenyans are still very much Kenyan orientated, and we haven't really opened up the global opportunities yet. So even if you do a simple Google search, you're able to find different platforms, different brokers who are able to offer a wider access of assets to trade from.
So first I would start by just acknowledging and thanking you for organizing this phenomenal event. So you've talked about when it comes to trading, just the risk management, the percentage of portfolio you need to allocate. But I also think another critical aspect that needs to be talked about is trading psychology. So understanding for the people who trade on the panel, what are your key habits that you've been able to have over the years?
Good. First of all, I feel like trading is 80% mental. So if you wake up today and you have decided you are going to make money, you will make money. So one of the things that is part of my everyday routine, I listen to a podcast every single morning, and it's just flowing money to me. Just building my mind subconsciously, because there's always two copies. You have to have the first copy in your mind and then the copy actually on the ground. So I feed my mind every single day, the first 1 hour. I read a very powerful book called The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. It's I'm part of the 5 a.m. club, and as soon as I wake up, I extend it. I don't do 20, 20, 20. I do 1 full hour of listening to something that will generate beautiful thoughts to my mind, and then I become the best version or the trader that I have imagined to be. Also, once you lose money on the mental side, because there's the beautiful side of attracting the money and letting the money flow naturally to you. There's the side, once you lose money, please take a break. You are just human. You're not a computer, you're not a machine. Take a trader's break. Accept that you have lost money. Do not revenge trade because you will lose more money. So kindly take a break, do other things. And that's why for trading, I normally say, you need to do all the other things that I was talking about. Be a mom, be an influencer, do all the other things. So once you're off the charts, you proceed with the other things. Once you are mentally okay, you come back to the charts. Because you would be seeing gold is actually on a buy and you're selling and selling and selling and selling, and we're still enjoying the buy upwards. So you need to take a trader's break because you also, what you're seeing with your mind would make decisions for you as well. I don't know for you, Monica. Oh, yeah, sure.
So I used to trade stocks, but now I trade different things. But first, I'm a sanguine. So I get happy quickly in 2 seconds and sad in 2 seconds. So now that I've appreciated that part of myself, I blend it between doing direct and indirect. So where I can actually outsource it to people, like some of the banks have ETFs and mutual funds, I sort of outsource it because I just react too quickly. But then what I've been doing in the last 3 years, because of that awareness of myself, I first take a day or two before I make a decision. And then there's also a bias because I talk about investments and investment options all the time. And there's this phrase, mganga hajigangi. So there's a time I used to talk about, I'm talking about, oh, these stocks will make 20, 30%. Then I was like, but why did you take that trade? So I balance it out in terms of if I can actually get, like, I'm not very good when it comes to FX. I understand the theory of FX. So like one of the things that I do to address my biases, because I know I'm very biased, is to take a program, and then now we're going to be best friends with Mimi, so that I'm like, Mimi, I'm thinking this. I'm not going to take her advice, but I want her to make an input in my life. And then my daily day is I subscribe to so many spaces. So there's Bloomberg, being on all these WhatsApp groups and seeing what's going on. So anytime I wake up, like I'll do all my routines. And then before I start my day, I'm like, what's going on in global markets? What's going on in local markets? And then understand what's the trend. So for now, in the current space that we're in, my trend formation has been, I want safety has assets, looking for safety assets, but I'm also putting money aside because I'm like, there will be more opportunities for me to actually trade. So deciding between, do I want long-term opportunities in stocks, local or global, but understanding what the trends are from a global perspective and a local perspective. But I am a sanguine, so just know yourself and then find a way to use knowledge to address that bias and then be able to delay that decision before you make it, either on the buy side or on the sell side. That's what works for me.
All right, thank you so much. I have a question. Probably Mimi is the best person to tell us rookie mistakes, because not everyone here has been trading for 3-4 years. So what are some of those rookie mistakes that you can say, okay, when you're doing this, you're going down the rabbit hole and it's not good for you? And then the other question is for Monica. Can you tell us about what you're seeing women in Africa versus women elsewhere, like in your country? What are our trading behaviors? Is it different? Is it the same? Is there something about our culture, our socialization that we need to be cognizant of so that we make better trading decisions?
Okay, so I go first. Okay. When it comes to rookie mistakes, there's a couple. Of course, the first is risk management. If you come into the market very greedy, you will definitely make the wrong choices. And also, if you come very scared, you'll also make the wrong choices. So this is eradicated by overdoing. over preparing. So you overdo completely. You keep trying and trying and trying and trying. All the mistakes, you overdo them on your demo account so that once you come to your live account, you actually don't do it. But I also insist it's not the same. Trading a demo account and a live account is not the same. And I don't recommend for people to stay too long on their demos because you will forever be a demo trader. You will always be on demo, very safe, and you're not losing money. It's just virtual money. Then when you come to a live account, you're just extremely confused. So over preparing, risk management has to be in order. Please do not be so greedy. There's so much money to be made every single day in the market. So manage your greed and fear. Also, not having a plan, a trading plan. You need to tell yourself, personally, I have a trading journal. I understand this is today, Saturday, or there's no trading days on Saturday apart from crypto. Monday. This is Monday, the 14th of March. I am buying GBP USD at this price, or I am selling at this price. You understand why you're getting into that position. So if you have that trading plan or your trading journal, you understand that once I hit my 10% of my $20,000 account, you're happy for the day. It could be a daily, it could be a weekly, it could be hourly. I mean, we're in a very fluid market. You can say for the first Asian session, I want to do my 2% and I'm out. Or for New York session, I want to do my 10% for the day and I'm out. Just being very realistic with the goals that you set for yourself because the market is in plenty for you to make money. What else? Also for trading, you have to have a second source of income so that when you blow your account, you're able to top it up. So that is a mistake that people make. For you to get to where I am now, you have to have had another business that is running and generating income so that when you blow this account, for you to keep trying and trying and trying to get to where you are, you have to have other streams of income. So it's a mistake that people shut everything they're doing to come to this side. Because once you're still in the trying process, once it doesn't work out, then you stop and you say, Forex is a scam, it doesn't work. You get? So it's a mistake leaving everything else to just come and do this fully. I would recommend have as many streams of income and that will supplement this. Yeah, what else would be a mistake? Taking signals, according to me, taking signals that you don't understand why you're taking them is a mistake as well. You need to understand the thought process. You're just getting somebody who's saying buy gold at this price, and do you understand why you're buying that gold? So you really need to, before you take that signal, you need to be the one making the decision. Then I'd call me, then be like, okay, fine, do you think this is the right position to actually buy gold? Then we discuss, and then now is when I take the signal, as opposed to just sitting there waiting to be copy-pasted. That would be another mistake. Just basics. You need to be on the charts. You need to spend as much time. Your eyes need to be red because the more time you put in, the more you get out of it. It's not one of those that Mimi is an expert trader. She has said we buy gold at 1850 and we're all going to buy gold at 1850. You need to actually make that decision yourself. You need to spend as much time on the charts as well. Yes, you must also, yes, for sure. That's the first, actually, I should have started there. You need to also begin with understanding unscrupulous brokers exist. There's people who have licenses who work against you, actually. So if you don't do your due diligence to actually understand why am I actually losing, I get into this position and it takes the opposite direction because they are actually market making, like they are manipulating the market against you. So you really have to do your due diligence. Are they regulated? Are they ECN? Are the spreads right? Am I getting the right prices? Of which FX Special, you're doing an amazing job. I once cheated on them and I just had to come back. I had to come back because you feel like, okay, here they have crypto and they're fun, but you realize they're actually manipulating the market against you. So you are actually taking positions and they're going the opposite direction. So do your due diligence when you're looking for your brokerages. Yeah. Good. Thank you so much.
Maybe one of the tips that I would add here is once you have actually gone through the learning journey and you feel that you're confident now in your trading career, something that I really follow is the set and forget rule. Like when I don't do market orders, I only do limit orders. I know where I want to enter at some point. That's my stop loss, take profit, and I forget about it. I open my charts maybe once a week for an hour. That's about it. That's all I do. That's why I'm very comfortable having a full-time demanding job, but at the same time using the trading as my side hustle as well. In terms of women in trading, there is one very big difference between, previously I was working in Dubai, I was working with a lot of female traders in Middle East. There's one key difference between women in Middle East and in Kenya. Kenyan women, they put in the time. If they want to get to understand something, they are after you until you tell them everything you know about it, right? They really put in the effort and they put in the time. They see the potential there and they give everything possible from their side. I have seen it over and over and can absolutely love that. So I think, yes, that's the main difference, nothing else really.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. So I am 21 years old and I currently deal with so many clients who, of course, have invested in the knowledge, they have traded on demo, but the one key thing that I see them going through as a challenge is trading a small account. Okay, yes, you have to have another source of income, but no, think about me. I'm in university. I can still have another source of income. I cannot go and work. I cannot do other things apart from studying and full-time trading. Because FX is a non-dealing broker and you're regulated by CMA. Are you still allowed to have a funding program for young people like me and also some of my other clients? Is that something that you can put into consideration? Of course, there'll be the evaluation process. I have so many clients who have the potential to actually earn that funding program. Is it something that you can put into consideration?
It's a really lovely request. I actually never thought about it, so it's something completely new. But I will definitely take that off. I'm not sure if that's something we can do or we can't do. I don't think I've really seen brokers who offer it, so I'm not sure what are the complications or
Actually, if I'm not wrong, I'm so sure some of us have heard about FTMO.
A what?
FTMO.
Oh God, no, that's not the same thing.
No, they offer funding programs. But
Yeah.
when you buy, they give you an evaluation process. You have to buy an account. They evaluate you for 3 months. Then later on, they give you an account. They give you, for example, buying a $100,000 account. You buy it with $1,000 and going downwards, of course. But they still have to evaluate you. You know, I'm saying that because I have so many clients who actually trade with $50. I mean, from $50, it's so hard to see a substantial or a significant return. Is it something you can still put into consideration? It doesn't really have to be FTMO type or MFF type, just your own type. Is it something you can consider doing? Or is it something that you cannot be allowed because you're regulated by CMA or you're a non-dealing?
Good. Okay. Just to clarify, FTMO is a prop firm. So what the company exists to look for competent traders who will then get funded after they pass the evaluation process. They are not a brokerage. FX or EGM Equity Group is a brokerage. And even when you pass that exam, you go through a brokerage to access the market. So that is very different, and for your age, you are in the right position to get the skill for you to actually keep finessing your skill in trading, and then you can apply to actually do that. Another thing that I normally say when I'm training is that if you cannot grow a $50 account, even a $10,000 account, you can't grow it. So it's normally the little money that you have, view it like that's all you have and that's what should be multiplied. Also with little money, I normally say compound it. So as opposed to from $50 getting to 70, you can just, instead of withdrawing the profit of 20, you just keep compounding it over time. Another thing that I would definitely add, you're in a very highly leveraged market. With my $50, I don't know what business you would do to make the 70 on top. So take advantage of the leverage that you have at the moment. But what I would say for the age and the time that you have, finesse your skill. It will take you to amounts that your mind has not yet even fathomed to understand. Yeah.
If we still use FTMO through Expressa, I hope you understand my question. I don't know if it really makes sense, but of course, I'll still need a broker. That's what you say. I'll still need a broker.
Okay, so before they answer, good. We'll open the floor to the final question. A lot of these questions can be answered in the WhatsApp group, and you guys can interact with the ladies thereafter. So after she answers the last question, because, yeah.
Oh, shall we have the last question? We'll speak about it a little bit more in detail later on.
Hi, my name is Yvette, and first of all, I'd like to say thank you for this opportunity, and also thank you for finally seeing Ivy in person. I really like you. Anyway, I have no idea about most of the things that you're talking about.
I love it.
I'm 23, turning 24, and one of the things that I had told myself, I have a daughter, she's 1 year, and one of the things that I had told myself is that I want to take control or figure my finances out and get all the information that all the information that all the information that I need to get back on my feet. Anyway, how do you learn about this thing?
We offer free trainings. Are you based in Nairobi, right?
Yes.
So we offer completely free of charge trainings. We have something happening in Nairobi twice every day. So what we do from our side, we give you complete A to Z guidance. We have full-time FX trainers working for us. We have full-blown educational programs, completely free of charge. So that would be my advice for your first step. That will give you access to learn. And once again, we have demo trading accounts available for especially clients who are new to the whole space. You don't need to risk with your own money. You don't need to invest any of your own money. You first need to get the confidence and trade on the virtual environment and build your knowledge, build your skills. So that's your first step.
Wow. Brilliant session. And don't worry, some of the things also. Oh, you have something to say? Okay. Okay.
Just to add on, it's good that you're taking your power back, yeah? And the first thing you need to do is also take advantage of all the free online investment financial planning courses that are out there, yeah?
Talk to Mbide, talk to us. Sorry. Yes. Talk to Mbude, talk to us, talk to FX Pesa. I'm sure there's so many people who are willing to take to walk the journey with you. Yeah. But the best thing is understanding and actually acknowledging, yes, I need to take back my power. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Rose. I was also going to tell her, you're not alone, eh? Pips, spreads, stop loss. Even me, I've just been taking notes. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is interesting. Trust me, you're not alone. We're all here to learn. To close, just a few things that I think I have managed to learn from this panel today. One, join the WhatsApp group, guys. Join that WhatsApp group. Scan that QR code, join that WhatsApp group. Let's merge synergies. Be bold, be confident, decide to make money. Be your own advocate, okay? That's something that I think I've understood from here. Diversify your investments, and not only where you put your money, but diversify where you put your time, all right? Usidharau pesa ndogo. Monica, don't belittle little money. So the way Mimi said, even 50 USD can be compounded and you can make something out of that. Don't belittle little money. Of course, finally, I want everyone to understand that advancing gender equality is smart economics. For every woman here who has taken the time to learn how to make money in a better way, we are all participating in sound business practice and in essential business in essence. Thank you for everyone who came for this event today. We still have some time to mingle, take some pictures, invest that time wisely. Are you going to take pictures or are you going to ask a question? Something that's going to help you later in life. Monica, thank you so much. Mimi, Rose, be there. This has been, I think, the best Saturday I have spent in the year 2022. I don't know if you guys can agree. And we need to do this some more. Monica, we need more breakfasts. Collins with some prizes for winners the next time. Let's leave with something. Guys, have a good Saturday. Yeah? Yeah. DJ, kuna music. It's a bit quiet. Hey, Kangoma. Nani? You guys want closing comments for yourselves?
How do we bring the conversation on financial literacy and women? And what's the one message that you should take?
Okay. The panelists want to give parting shots. All right. Good.
We are empowered. We are
good.
All right, let's start.
Ivy, sorry. Oh, sorry?
If that's a serious question. I'm failing at my job at managing time.
Oh gosh, sorry, you've just...
No. The last question. Where's the microphone? Thanks, James. Here you go.
First of all, I'm sorry for making you feel like you're failing at your job. Also, I had a question. Most of the time we were just talking about the normal FX pesa trading and normal currencies and stuff. But my question is based on shares. So I think it was last month or very early this month, there was a huge market crash in Kenya. There was like 92 billion market crash, and it was crazy because most of the time you're told invest when there's blood in the streets. So it's like I want to buy shares now that they're all down, but at the same time I'm like the elections. But I'm more of a global type of person. But I was thinking, okay, giving back to the community and stuff like that, and you end up buying shares from your own country. But then again, the elections. What would you tell me to do? Like, should I still just go on for it? Because right now the prices are looking lucrative, but at the same time, I have that fear in me because I'm like, what if it crashes more? Then what do I do? Also, there's something that she talked about mental when it comes to trading. There's a book by Morgan Housel. It's a good book. Okay, if you're not more of a podcast type of person, if you're a reader, if you like reading, that is a book that anyone would recommend. Yes.
We'll take that on. Be there. You can take that on and...
I give you...
What's the title?
The title of the book?
Yes.
What was the title of the book?
There are like two. There's Psychology of Trading and there's the Morgan Housel Psychology of Money.
Psychology of Trading and Morgan Housel Psychology of Money. What I would encourage you to do is, because you see exactly where she's seated.
Yes.
You can actually go and ask her, and then make friends, and then maybe she'll give you the books. Be there. You can take that, and then maybe Mimi, you can answer as well, and then Very quick parting shots.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for that lovely question. I'm normally very careful about the words that I hear and the words that we put out there. So the NSC has actually been on a steady streak for the last couple of months. I think probably the time that we actually saw a massive drop across the board was at the onset of COVID-19. That was in the year 2020. So when it comes to financial literacy, there's a challenge for us as women to first and foremost understand what happens on a daily basis. Because when we say that there's been a bloodbath on the NSC, I haven't seen a bloodbath on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. What we've actually seen globally is with the onset of the Russia and the Ukraine war, there has been a market correction, but it goes down and it comes up. Global stocks have gone down, they came back up. Bitcoin went down. Then when people were moving to safety assets, or they were looking for opportunities to hold some of their currency in alternative assets, Bitcoin came back up. This week, we haven't seen any material correction on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. We have seen a bit of a sell-off by foreign investors, was expected. It's not a big thing. And what we are saying is, as we get into the election cycle, there will be volatility. Volatility means that you could make money, you could lose money. If you have money, look for opportunities to invest in. That has also been the same trajectory when it comes to currencies, and some of the assets that have been on an upward steady streak have been gold, and gold has actually been one of the outliers in the last 1 to 2 weeks on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. So when it comes to some statements, and I think when it comes to what you want to do, it's important to personalize the question and ask, what is the fact? What has actually happened? And then the next thing to ask yourself is, what does this mean for me? And what will my action be? So that we remove ourselves from that mindset of wanasema, everyone is saying, and take the mindset of azmbithe. What has happened in this asset? What do I want to do? Am I neutral? Do I want to do something positive? Do I want to do something negative, buy or negative sell? And what will be that impact on my own personal portfolio for tomorrow? I can hand it over to Mimi.
I generally don't have anything to add, but also please be verifying the information that you get regardless of whatever source it comes from, purely because I would say the same. The only time we saw like a bloody market was pre-COVID and just the onset of COVID, and that was a global issue. With regards to your fears right now, I also say the trading is fundamental, technical, and then sentimental. Go with your inner gut. So if you feel like I'm too scared, you can always opt out. The market is still there. You'll still make money after the elections, right? If you feel like, okay, fine, with the fear that I have, I can still take a step and invest in Safaricom shares because we've seen the foreign investors opting out and the price coming down. This would be a nice bid point for you to actually take that position. So also go with your sentimental after you have your technicalities and your fundamentals in order. Yeah. A parting shot. Parting shot for me would be luxury. Luxury is actually the option of choosing what to do right with your time. And I would say for sure, time is the most important thing that we have apart from the money that we're talking about. So let's use that time very wisely. Yeah, that would be my parting shot. Your time is not infinite, but at the same time it is infinite. Yeah.
Okay. My parting shots. So basically, as we said, you look at yourself as a woman and ask yourself, what does financial freedom look to me? In the next 20 years, am I going to be depending on someone, or will I be the one who is calling the shots on my money? So ask yourself that, set your goals right, and then do a plan on how you're going to achieve that financial freedom as it looks to you. Mine is to wake up on Monday at 5 a.m. and deciding I'm going to play golf. I have maintained that for the last 3 years. Have I been able to do it yet? No. It means that I have not achieved financial freedom. Because financial freedom to me is time, yeah? Where I know my money is working for me and I don't have to wake up every day and go to the office. So look at your goals and look at your financial freedom and actually start putting work today. Delayed gratification.
There's so many things, but this is my comment in terms of living. So I'm going to be that African woman who works hard, but working hard, my money works harder for me. That's the point that I want to get to. So for you, you have to first take time to understand where am I at financially, right? You plan when you're making your meals. You just don't changanisha everything, though our sisters from Ivy's. Anyway. So where am I at today? How am I going to move from here to tomorrow? And more importantly, as women, we appreciate and love the fine things in life. So join the FX and understand how to be a trader. You can actually make it work for you because you actually have it in you to make it, to understand and to put in the work. But what I'm taking out from this is FX trading for heels. Because me, I like heels and I like handbags. So this WhatsApp group, it's going to be my alternative for if I'm going to spend before I go spend on something that is not a need. I might as well invest that money, make it work for me, and then I'll go buy those shoes. And perhaps one day we'll have a Louis Vuitton team WhatsApp group here. Thank you.
I think the final one from my end is what I mentioned earlier as well, and something I really live by is that the money is unlimited, but time is not. Money buys you time, nothing else, and that is the most valuable thing out there. And what Rose mentioned as well, without money, you're not in charge of your time. And that is by far the most valuable thing. You want to spend some more time with your family, with your loved ones. You don't have money, you won't be able to do so either. Yeah, thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure having you here.
All right, my parting shot is that's it. Let's part. Let's part. Thank you, guys. Yeah, enjoy your Saturday. Do you need us in front of the table because of all this stuff?